What's going on, YouTube? Before I get into this video, man, y'all make sure y'all go like, comment down below what movie y'all want to see me review next, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. Now, this next movie we about to get into, man, King Richard. Now, this movie came out in 2021. It stars Will Smith. Now, this movie, I didn't really know what to expect from it because I'm not gonna lie, I don't really keep up with tennis like that. I'm not a tennis guy, but everybody knows Venus and Serena. Like, even if you don't watch the sport of tennis, like I knew who Venus and Serena was my entire life, especially Serena, because well, it might be kids on her, but I ain't gonna get into that. Anyway, this story is about their father, really. I mean, it's about all of them, but it's about it's focused around their father, Richard Williams. Now, they grew up in Compton, California, which is a very dangerous neighborhood for people who don't know about Compton. But he is like, I don't like calling people like a little off, but Richard kind of crazy on this movie. But do you know what they say about like geniuses? Like genius and crazy, like it's a thin line between it. But like soon as the movie comes on, it's like he's promoting his daughters. He's telling like all these rich guys like how his daughter's gonna be and what they're gonna be, and it's just like nobody's buying it except him. But he said he planned out his daughter's lives before they was even born, which was very, very interesting to me because I'm looking like, okay, just imagine if everybody who had children planned out their children's lives before they were born, how quickly the world would shift. Like if that was mandatory before you could even have a child, you had to plan out their life. I say 99% of the time when you have a children, it's either like out of nowhere, like you wasn't expecting it, so you had to deal with it. But this man, he had a blueprint on what his kids was going to be before they were even here. So that lets you know he kind of already has like a genius mindset, because if you can stick to a plan and be consistent with it, like you've seen it through and through, even when you living through it. Like this dude was just very, very intelligent on here. But you couldn't tell because like the way, and Will Smith, he did a great job playing this dude, like especially like when they show clips of how not King Richard, but Richard really was. He did a great job imitating this guy. But like he said, I had it planned out from the jump what I was gonna do with my daughters, and he has 5 daughters. Now I thought it was only Venus and Serena. I didn't know that he had 5 daughters. He had other children too, but living in the house with him and his wife, he had 5 girls. But we only knew who Venus and Serena was. But that was another eye opener for me. But like, it's just parts on the movie where he was like, he didn't really get a lot of respect. And it's a part on here where it shows them at the tennis court playing, and these little thugs, they trying to holler at one of Richard's daughters, and he like hurry up telling them to get in the truck. And they just keep disrespecting him, and then he ended up getting beat up by them. And he just was telling the girls in the car like how he got beat up growing up, how he used to get chased by people, and he was just like, nobody respected him, but they gonna respect y'all. And that's something I did respect about this man. Like, you can disrespect me, but you're not gonna disrespect my daughters. And like later on during the movie, he went back to the park playing with his daughters, and he ran into the guys again. Now, they said something very disrespectful that I'm not gonna say on here about one of his daughters, so Richard just got fed up, but then they end up jumping him. Now, when they jumped him, the guy that said the disrespectful comment, he hit Richard in the eye with a gun. Now, that would have been the last straw for me. Like, first of all, you ain't finna disrespect my daughter like that, but you hit me in my eye with a gun, like we finna take it to another level, which Richard did. Like, he went back looking for the guy that hit him with the gun, but like karma ain't no joke. When Richard was, and I don't even know if this was really true, but if this was true, this is so crazy. When Richard was finna go shoot the guy that hit him with the gun, he ended up getting shot right in front of Richard, and Richard just got back in the car and left. Like, if that really happened in this movie, that is very crazy. But karma, like, y'all sitting here picking on this man, and all he do all day is try to make his daughters better at tennis, and y'all harassing him and his kids, and then you got shot right in front of him. Like, karma is no joke. But it's people on here who just look at this guy crazy, saying like, why do you work your daughter so hard? And it's a lady on here, she lives across the street from them. She watches him like work his daughters hard to the bone. Like, I'm not saying like he did the wrong thing by doing it because it worked out in the end, but she was just like, you crazy, like you working these girls too hard. And it's the thing on here, Serena and Venus, they never really complained about how hard like they father worked them. Like they look like they was enjoying it. And then I'm having fun with my sisters, like we playing tennis, we with our daddy. Like what I didn't understand that part. Like if they ain't got no problem with it, if they ain't complaining, why does everybody else have a problem with it? And the lady that was saying that he was working them too hard, she ended up calling like defects on him, trying to get them in trouble. And like he was like, I'm not finna have my children out in the streets doing whatever, letting like they ain't finna be no prostitutes or on drugs or none of that. That's like that's what he was trying to defend them from. Like that's what he was trying to save them from. And the crazy part about it is the lady who called defects on him, her daughter is like a prostitute or something. So it's like, you need to be worried about your own children instead of worried about this man who's doing the right thing. And he's like, I'm gonna work them hard. And I understand that. And it's another thing I paid attention to. It's like the Joe Jackson effect. Like in black households, when you see your children have talent, or if you see like them just, they don't even have to be like athletes or nothing, but if you see like they got a special type of gift, any parent with any type of sense would try to maximize that. Like if I see my child knows how to sing, I'm going to have them in the choir. I'm going to have them in singing classes. They're just going to be doing something with singing. I ain't saying they're going to be the next Michael Jackson or nothing, but they're going to be doing something with singing because that's their gift. He knew that his babies knew how to play tennis really good because he was interested in it. So he maximized their potential to the fullest extent. Now, the thing I love about this though, like when he said he planned this out, this man really like planned it to perfection, because every time something happened, like Richard, I'm not saying he knew it was going to happen exactly how everything happened, because it was some stuff that there's no way you could expect it. Like he said, but you have to prepare for the unexpected too. This dude, like when people would come at him with a deal that he didn't, it's just very, you have to really watch. I was looking like they're throwing crazy numbers at this guy and he's turning them down. He's not budging. He's very stubborn on this movie. Like Richard Williams is a very stubborn man, but I'm looking like if y'all living in a hood, y'all living in a dangerous environment, and people throwing you 6 figures, 7 figures, and you not budging, like what you got up your sleeve. Like it's another part on here where Venus, she's already like going up the ranks, even though Serena is like the one we know to this day like as being the greatest. Venus was like the big sister, so she had to go first, and they was trying to throw her like $3 million. Now this little girl is 14 years old when they throwing her this price, and she has like the biggest game of her life coming up. You think she got time to be thinking about this? Then the dude gonna say, well, the deal is off the table if you don't make it tonight. Right then and there, that's a red flag. I'm like, no, I'm not taking that deal. Why do I have to sign a contract tonight? I have a big game tomorrow. Like, and you have to be careful with these agents. Like they really shicey. They know you black, you from the hood, you don't know no better. I'm gonna hurry up and throw you a price. You got to take it tonight. They'll give you $2 million and you worth $20 million. Or you might not even be worth $20 million. They'll just give you $2 million and hurry up and try to give it to you. But they know it's somebody else that might give you $5 or $6 million. Like, so this little girl said no. She's 14 years old. This dude offered her $3 million and she said no. So off the gate, this little girl is smart. And that's another thing on here. Richard made sure that like his daughters was education first. That's all he kept saying. He said that's why he wasn't trying to rush them growing up. He was like, he just wanted them to be kids. And he was very overprotective of his daughters on here. But like, he was just like, education first. I wanted them to have education because they can have all the talent in the world. If they don't know nothing, they gonna get finessed out their money. And that little girl, that was very shocking. I know this part happened. Like, you turned down $3 million at 14 years old. Like me at 14, I'm jumping on that. Like, but hey, that's why they great. But another part on here that I really like, when Venus and Serena was beating everybody, like they started getting like the big head, like them and they sisters, they just in the car bragging, talking about this. And Richard wasn't going for that junk. Like he kept telling them to stop bragging. Like he kept telling them and they kept bragging. So he sent them in the store to get something and he was finna pull off. Like he was finna leave. And the mom was like, what you doing? He said, they finna learn how to be humble. Like they finna walk home 3 miles. Now, even though she stopped them and let them get back in the car, he was trying to teach them a lesson. No matter how big you get, no matter how famous you get, you need to stay humble. We already living in the hood. So, and y'all ain't even moved out of the hood yet, and y'all already getting the big head. Like, stay low to the ground. That's another thing. This dude character. That's why I feel like that's why him and his family made it, because his character took him a long way, and his plan did too. But as time goes on, like everybody talking about Venus, 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 and I'm looking like, man, Serena is just as good, if not better than Venus. Like, but it's like they're still living in the hood and they can't really afford to get training for both of them. So Venus was the one getting all the training, because the trainer that they got said he can only train one of them. So they had to break the news to Venus. So just imagine like you being super talented. You have a sister or a brother. Y'all both good at what y'all do. You might be a little bit better, but they're getting all the recognition. They're getting all the shine. It's not that you're jealous. You just know what you're capable of. So that could kind of eat you up. So before Venus goes to her big game, like Serena just standing like in this alleyway just looking mad. This probably was my favorite part of the entire movie. Richard goes up to Serena and he says, I know how you feeling, like how your sister getting all this. And he like, but your sister gonna be the best. And Serena was like, I already know that. Like, you telling me something I already know. I know she's gonna be the best. That's why we here. And he was like, but you gonna be the greatest of all time. That part right there is like, that's crazy. And this is the craziest part too. He said, because I planned it. Like, do you know how, I'm not going to say insane, but you have to have some type of insanity in you you planned this out before your daughters was even born. When they get here, your plan is actually working, and you planned that your oldest daughter would become the #1 tennis player in the world, and your second daughter is going to be the greatest of all time, and then it actually happens. This right here, like, I see why. I did. This is my first time watching this movie, but I see why Will Smith won this award. Like, he won the Oscar for this, and I see why everybody was talking about this movie. I don't know why it took me so long to watch this, but this was a great movie. I do not want to talk about the Oscar night. Please don't even comment on here about that. I don't even want to talk about it, but Will Smith deserved this Oscar. This was a very great movie, and the fact that this was based on a true story makes the story even more crazy, how he planned out his daughter's lives before they was even here. And I guarantee you, if people start doing that more, we'll have a better world that we live in. But King Richard starring Will Smith, this was a great movie. I'm gone.